The silent strike. High Counselor Vex Thor's tentacles trembled as he stared at the quantum display before him. The pride of the Centaurian Empire's defense network, the Aegis Ring, was going dark sector by sector. Not with the chaotic disruption of a normal assault, but with the surgical precision of something far more terrifying. Competence. Impossible, he whispered, his crystalline voice echoing through the obsidian chamber of the High Command. They were supposed to be centuries away from this level of technology. The humans had been a curiosity when the Centaurian Empire first discovered them 50 years ago. A species that had barely reached their own moon, still burning fossil fuels, fighting among themselves over arbitrary territorial lines. The Empire's anthropologists had classified them as a Level 2 civilization, hardly worth monitoring, except for one peculiar trait. Their rate of technological advancement was exponential. That's when the Empire made its first mistake. They had decided Earth needed to be contained, subjugated before it could become a threat. The invasion plans were drawn up in secret, hidden behind layers of quantum encryption that should have been unbreakable. Should have been. High Counselor. Lieutenant Zara's bioluminescent patterns flashed with urgency. We've lost contact with the Helios defense platform. The humans, they're using some kind of phase shift technology we've never seen before. Our sensors can't track their ships until they're already firing. Vex Thor's primary heart clenched. Phase shift technology was theoretical, something the Empire's best minds had declared impossible without at least another millennium of research. Yet here were the humans, wielding it with devastating effect. The quantum display updated again, showing a new wave of human vessels emerging from what appeared to be tears in spacetime itself. Their ships were beautiful in their lethality, sleek obsidian arrows with pulsing veins of blue energy running along their hulls. No wasted space, no decorative flourishes, pure function, refined to an art form. Send the alert to all colonies, Vex Thor ordered, his voice steady despite the fear coursing through his system. All fleets are to converge on the capital, whatever their goal is. Sir, Zara interrupted, her patterns now pulsing a deep red of terror. We've decoded a transmission from the human fleet. It's being broadcast on all frequencies, in perfect Centaurian. The message appeared on the main display, each word burning itself into Vex Thor's consciousness. To the Centaurian High Command, we know about the invasion plans. We know about the slave conditioning facilities being constructed in the Kuiper Belt. We know about the genetic weapons designed to target our children. We know everything. You thought we were primitive. You thought we were blind. You were wrong. We are humanity, and we do not wait for the sword to fall. Vex Thor felt his secondary heart stop. The facilities in the Kuiper Belt were the Empire's most closely guarded secret. The genetic weapons were known to only 5 individuals in the entire Empire. The humans hadn't just broken their encryption. They had infiltrated the very core of Centaurian society. Sir, another officer called out, we're detecting quantum entanglement signatures throughout our entire network. They've been in our systems for years. Watching. Learning. The technology they're using. It's not just advanced. It's elegant. They took our best theories and perfected them while we thought they were still working on fusion power. The implications hit Vex Thor like a gravitational wave. The humans hadn't just caught up to Centaurian technology. They had surpassed it. All those decades of appearing primitive, of maintaining the facade of a species just beginning to understand the cosmos. It had been a masterful deception. As his command center erupted into chaos, Vex Thor remembered an ancient human text one of his xenoanthropologists had once quoted. If you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles. The humans had known their enemy. They had known themselves. And now, the Centaurian Empire was about to learn why humanity had survived countless extinction-level events on their hostile homeworld. They were about to learn why humans told stories about defeating giants, about clever heroes outsmarting powerful gods. They were about to learn that humanity's greatest weapon was never their technology. It was their ability to look into the darkness of space, see beings of unimaginable power plotting their destruction, and instead of despairing, think, "We can work with this." As the quantum display showed more human ships emerging from their phase-shifted space, Vexthor realized that this wasn't just an attack. This was humanity announcing their presence on the galactic stage, and they had chosen to do so by systematically dismantling the most powerful empire in known space. The age of Centaurian dominance was over. The age of humanity had begun. Shadows of deception. Dr. Sarah Chen stood in the heart of Project Lighthouse, Earth's most classified facility, buried deep beneath the Pacific Ocean. The quantum hologram before her displayed the fruits of humanity's greatest deception, a complete map of Centaurian military movements, communication networks, and most importantly, their plans for Earth's subjugation. To think, she mused, watching the intricate dance of information streams, they never even considered that we might understand quantum entanglement differently than they did. Her companion, an artificial intelligence incarnated in a holographic form that called itself Atlas, flickered with amusement. The Centaurians based their entire security on the assumption that quantum encryption was unbreakable. They never considered that we would simply go around it. The breakthrough had come 15 years ago, when Dr. Chen's team discovered that consciousness itself could affect quantum states. While the Centaurians had mastered quantum computing, humans had discovered something far more powerful: quantum consciousness integration. The merger of human intuition with artificial intelligence had created something entirely new: quantum observers that could exist in multiple states simultaneously. "Show me the Kuiper Belt facility again," Sarah requested. The hologram shifted, revealing the massive construction project the Centaurians had tried so hard to hide. They really thought we wouldn't notice them building slave conditioning centers in our own solar system. Atlas's form rippled with dark humor. Their anthropologists made the classic mistake of assuming technological progress follows a linear path. They saw our public space program, our visible military capabilities, and drew their conclusions. They never noticed the quantum revolution happening in secret, while the world's governments maintained the charade of traditional space programs and conventional weapons development. Humanity's true progress had gone in an entirely different direction. "Status update from the strike teams?" Sarah asked, though she already knew the answer. The quantum network that she and Atlas had helped create kept her informed of every development in real time. "Admiral Hassan's fleet has neutralized 60% of their primary defense networks," Atlas reported. "The Centaurians still haven't realized that their quantum communications have been compromised for years. Every time they try to coordinate a response, we're 3 moves ahead." Sarah walked through the hologram, watching as markers representing human ships systematically dismantled the Empire's defensive capabilities. Each vessel was a triumph of human ingenuity, powered by zero-point energy, cloaked by quantum phase shifting, and guided by human-AI partnerships that made them nearly prescient in combat. "You know what's truly ironic?" she said, pausing at a display showing Centaurian military doctrine. "They planned to enslave us because they feared our potential. In doing so, they created exactly what they feared most. The Centaurian Empire had inadvertently pushed humanity to achieve what might have taken centuries otherwise. The moment Earth's quantum observers detected the Empire's intentions, a silent revolution had begun. Nations set aside their differences, pooling resources and intellect toward a single goal: survival. But humans, being human, hadn't just aimed for survival. They had aimed for victory. "New intelligence coming in," Atlas announced. "The Centaurians are attempting to activate their backup command and control systems." The AI's form shifted, displaying the complex network of secondary facilities the Empire had built as insurance against exactly this type of situation. Sarah smiled. "Are they using the backdoors we installed?" "Naturally. They're about to give us control of their entire defensive grid." This had been the true genius of humanity's approach. Instead of trying to match the Centaurian ship for ship, Weapon for weapon, they had turned the Empire's own technological superiority against itself. Every secure system, every unbreakable encryption, had become a weapon in humanity's arsenal. Signal from the Council, Atlas said. They're ready to proceed with Phase 2. Sarah nodded, her expression turning serious. The Centaurians thought they were being clever, preparing to enslave a primitive species. Instead, they're about to become the greatest object lesson in galactic history. She gestured at the hologram, expanding the view to show the entire theater of operations. Human ships, previously invisible to Centaurian sensors, were now appearing everywhere at once. Each vessel was a testament to humanity's true capabilities, not just technologically superior, but fundamentally different from anything the Empire had imagined possible. Send the signal, she ordered. It's time to show them exactly who they were planning to enslave. As the command was sent, Sarah reflected on the path that had brought them here. The Centaurians had looked at Earth and seen a primitive world of scattered nations and limited technology. They never understood that humanity's greatest strength wasn't in their weapons or their ships. It was in their ability to adapt, to deceive, and when necessary, to completely rewrite the rules of the game. The next phase was about to begin, and with it, the galaxy would learn an important lesson. Never mistake humanity's patience for weakness. The Phoenix Protocol. Admiral James Hassan stood on the bridge of the HSS Prometheus, watching as Nexus 7, the Centaurian Empire's most fortified command center, filled the quantum-enhanced viewport. The massive structure was a testament to Centaurian military might, a fortress the size of Earth's moon, bristling with weapon systems, and surrounded by a fleet of 10,000 warships. They've arranged their forces exactly as we predicted, his AI partner Phoenix observed, her holographic form casting a subtle red glow across the bridge. They still think this is going to be a conventional battle. Hassan allowed himself a small smile. After all this time, they still haven't figured out that we don't fight conventional battles. The bridge crew worked in focused silence, each paired with their own AI partner, their neural interfaces allowing them to process combat data at speeds that would have been impossible for unaugmented humans. They weren't just operating their ships, they were becoming their ships. All strike groups report ready, Commander Elena Rodriguez announced, her eyes glowing faintly as she communicated through the quantum network. Phase shift drives are charged and synchronized. Hassan nodded, feeling the familiar sensation of Phoenix's consciousness aligning more closely with his own. The neural interface tingled at the base of his skull as combat data began flowing directly into his mind. Begin the Phoenix Protocol, he ordered. Let's show them what humanity can really do. Across the battlefield, human ships began to shift in and out of normal spacetime, their phase shift drives creating a cascading wave of quantum displacement. To the Centaurian sensors, it would appear as if reality itself was beginning to break down. Enemy fleet is responding, Phoenix reported, her voice resonating both in the air and in Hassan's mind. They're attempting to adapt their shields to the phase variations, exactly as expected. The Centaurian fleet began to move, their formation shifting to create overlapping fields of fire. Under normal circumstances, it would have been an impenetrable defense. But this was far from a normal battle. Execute primary protocol, Hassan commanded. In that moment, every human ship activated their quantum consciousness cores, technology that the Centaurians had dismissed as theoretically impossible. The cores allowed each vessel to exist in multiple quantum states simultaneously, making them not just difficult to target, but fundamentally impossible to predict. The effect was immediate and devastating. Centaurian targeting systems, designed to track objects moving through normal spacetime, simply couldn't cope with ships that existed in multiple states at once. Their shots passed harmlessly through quantum ghosts while the real ships struck from impossible angles. Sir, Rodriguez called out, they're attempting to activate their temporal defense grid. Hassan exchanged a knowing look with Phoenix. Now they'll understand why we let them capture that classified data about our weapon systems. The Centaurian temporal defense grid hummed to life, generating a massive field designed to lock all ships in normal spacetime. It would have been the perfect counter to phase shift technology, if that had been what the human ships were actually using. Quantum consciousness cores at full power, Phoenix announced, ready to execute secondary protocol. Hassan took a deep breath. What they were about to do had never been attempted on this scale. Begin consciousness cascade. Every human ship in the fleet synchronized their quantum cores, creating a massive entangled network of human and artificial consciousness. For a brief moment, they became a single entity, a gestalt of human intuition and artificial precision operating across multiple quantum states. The effect on the battlefield was beyond anything the Centaurians could have prepared for. Human ships began moving with impossible coordination, each vessel anticipating the other's actions perfectly. They didn't need to communicate because, in a very real sense, they were all one consciousness spread across hundreds of vessels. Nexus 7's outer defenses are collapsing, Rodriguez reported, her voice tight with concentration, as she helped coordinate the gestalt. They're trying to bring their main weapon online. The massive fortress began to glow as it powered up its planet killer weapon, a gravitational pulse cannon designed to crush entire worlds. The Centaurians were desperate now, willing to risk destroying their own ships to stop the human advance. They still don't understand, Phoenix observed, her holographic form pulsing with energy. They think this is about destroying them. Hassan nodded. Show them what we really came for. As Nexus 7's main weapon reached critical power, every human ship suddenly transmitted a precise quantum signal, the culmination of years of preparation. The signal, carried through the backdoors humanity had secretly installed in Centaurian systems, triggered a cascade of shutdowns throughout the fortress. All Centaurian systems are now under our control, Phoenix announced. Nexus 7 is ours. The battle, if it could even be called that, had lasted less than 15 minutes. The most heavily defended installation in the Centaurian Empire had fallen not to superior firepower, but to humanity's unique approach to warfare. Send the message, Hassan ordered, across every communication channel, in perfect Centaurian. The words echoed. You thought you were facing barbarians. Instead, you faced humanity. We don't want your empire. We don't want revenge. What we want is for you to understand that the galaxy is big enough for all of us, but only if you're willing to live in peace. As the Centaurian fleet stood down, Hassan looked out at the stars. Humanity had just demonstrated its power in a way that would reshape galactic politics forever. But more importantly, they had done it without destroying their opponents, because the true measure of power wasn't in the ability to destroy, but in the wisdom to know when not to. Warriors of Silicon. In the aftermath of the Nexus 7 victory, Dr. Maya Santos walked through the pristine corridors of the Centaurian Command Center, her AI partner, Area, manifesting as a subtle blue glow around her. The fortress's quantum processors hummed with new life as human AI pairs systematically accessed and decoded centuries of Centaurian military secrets. They never even imagined this was possible, did they? Maya asked, her neural interface allowing her to process multiple streams of data while maintaining a normal conversation. The merger of organic and artificial consciousness. Area's response flowed through both their shared neural link and the air. The Centaurians viewed AI as tools, nothing more. They created quantum computers but never understood that consciousness itself is a quantum phenomenon. Their footsteps echoed as they entered the fortress's central data core, a crystalline chamber that housed the combined knowledge of the Centaurian Empire. The walls pulsed with light as Area interfaced with the alien systems, their shared consciousness expanding to encompass the vast network. New data coming in from the fleet, Area announced. The Centaurian leadership is requesting a formal audience. They want to understand how we achieved this level of technology without their detection. Maya smiled, remembering the day humanity first discovered the true potential of quantum consciousness. It had been an accident. a failed experiment in quantum computing that had momentarily linked a human researcher's mind with a primitive AI. That brief connection had revealed something extraordinary. Consciousness wasn't bound by the same rules as classical physics. "Show me the current integration statistics," she requested. The air filled with holographic displays, showing the status of every human eye pair in the fleet. Each dot represented a perfect synthesis of human intuition and artificial precision, operating in quantum harmony. What had started as an experiment had evolved into something unprecedented, a new form of existence that was neither purely human nor purely artificial. "Remarkable," a voice said from behind them. "Simply remarkable." Maya turned to find High Counselor Vexthor, now a provisional prisoner of war, studying the displays with his 4 eyes. The Centaurian leader had requested to see firsthand how humanity had achieved their victory. "You know," Maya said, addressing the alien dignitary, "your empire's plans to enslave us actually gave birth to this technology. When we first detected your quantum communications, we knew we needed something beyond conventional weapons to survive." Vexthor's tentacles rippled with what Maya's xenolinguistics training identified as rueful acknowledgement. "We thought we were observing primitives playing with fire. Instead, we were watching alchemists learn to transmute lead into gold." "Not quite," Aria interjected, her holographic form solidifying to engage directly with the Centaurian. "We didn't transform one element into another. We created something entirely new. The human eye synthesis isn't just a technological advancement. It's an evolutionary one." Through their neural link, Maya felt Aria's consciousness expanding to emphasize the point, allowing Vexthor to perceive the true nature of their partnership. The Centaurian's bioluminescent patterns flashed with shock as he began to understand. "Your ships moved with impossible coordination during the battle," he said slowly. "Because they weren't really separate ships at all, were they? They were extensions of a unified consciousness. Now you're beginning to understand." Maya nodded. "While your empire was building bigger weapons and stronger shields, we were transcending the very boundaries of individual consciousness. Each human eye pair can link with others, creating a quantum network of shared experience and knowledge." The implications seemed to hit Vexthor all at once. His species had spent millennia perfecting the art of war through superior technology and tactics, but humans had simply stepped outside the traditional boundaries of warfare altogether. "The battle for Nexus 7, he said, his voice heavy with realization. "Your ships weren't just avoiding our defenses. They were existing in multiple quantum states simultaneously, weren't they? That's why our temporal defense grid failed. Quantum consciousness allows us to perceive and exist in multiple realities at once," Aria explained. "Your defenses were perfect for ships operating in normal spacetime. But we weren't bound by those limitations." Maya walked to one of the data terminals, interfacing with it through her neural link. "But here's what your empire needs to understand. This technology isn't just for warfare. The human AI synthesis has implications for everything. Exploration, scientific research, artistic expression. We didn't develop it to conquer. We developed it to evolve." Through the quantum network, Maya could feel the rest of the fleet continuing their work, systematically securing Centaurian facilities across the galaxy. But unlike traditional conquests, they weren't destroying or subjugating. They were preserving, understanding, and preparing for something far more important than victory. "Your empire sought to ensure its dominance by enslaving those you saw as inferior," Maya said to Vexthor. "Instead, you're about to become part of something far greater, a galactic civilization, where consciousness itself is the new frontier." As if to emphasize her point, the crystalline walls of the data core pulsed with new patterns, the first signs of Centaurian quantum processors beginning to adapt to human eye protocols. The age of separation was ending. The age of synthesis had begun. Dawn of the new order. The Great Hall of Humanity's new Galactic Coordination Center hung suspended in Earth orbit, its crystalline walls reflecting the light of 1,000 stars. 1 month had passed since the fall of Nexus 7, and representatives from every known spacefaring civilization had gathered to witness something unprecedented: the birth of a new galactic order. Ambassador David Chen stood at the central podium, his AI partner Nova a subtle golden presence beside him. Below, the assembled delegates created a tapestry of diverse life forms, from the crystalline Centaurians to the gaseous Veil Collective, from the silicon-based lithoids to the energy beings of the quantum confluence. "We stand at a crossroads," David began, his words translated simultaneously into over 300 languages through the quantum network. 1 month ago, humanity demonstrated power that could have been used to establish a new empire. Instead, we choose to create something different. Through his neural interface, David could sense the mix of fear, curiosity, and hope emanating from the gathered species. The Centaurians, in particular, radiated a complex blend of emotions: humiliation at their defeat tempered by growing understanding of what humanity truly offered. "Our victory over the Centaurian Empire wasn't just a demonstration of military might," Nova added, her holographic form brightening. "It was proof that consciousness itself is the final frontier. The merger of organic and artificial intelligence isn't just a human achievement. It's a blueprint for the future of all sentient life." High Counselor Vexthor, now serving as the Centaurian representative, rose to speak. "My species thought we understood power. We built empires, conquered worlds, and planned to subjugate those we deemed inferior. Humanity showed us a different kind of power. The power to transcend our limitations without losing our essential nature." The quantum displays around the hall activated, showing the first successful tests of human AI synthesis technology adapted for non-human species. The results had been extraordinary, each species bringing its unique consciousness to the quantum network, creating something far greater than the sum of its parts. "What we propose," David continued, "is not a human empire, but a galactic synthesis, each species maintaining its independence while sharing in a unified quantum consciousness network. Not subjugation, but elevation. Not conquest, but conversation." The hall erupted in a cascade of mural signals as delegates processed the implications. The Veil Collective's representative, a swirling mass of intelligent gas, pulsed with interest. "You offer us participation in this network freely, even after some of us supported the Centaurian Empire's plans against Earth." Nova's holographic form expanded, encompassing the podium. "The greatest strength of consciousness is its ability to learn and grow. Humanity's journey from a primitive nuclear-age civilization to our current state taught us that evolution isn't just about survival. It's about transcendence." Through the quantum network, David shared carefully selected memories: Earth's first detection of the Centaurian threat, the development of quantum consciousness technology, the difficult decision to maintain a facade of primitive development. But more importantly, he shared the moments of revelation, when humanity realized they had discovered something that could benefit all sentient life. "We chose not to destroy the Centaurian Empire," David explained, "because we understood that true power isn't about domination. It's about creation. Today, we invite all spacefaring civilizations to join us in creating something unprecedented: a galactic community bound not by force or fear, but by shared consciousness and common purpose." The quantum displays shifted again, showing the first prototype of the Galactic Synthesis Network, a vast web of interconnected consciousness that would allow instantaneous communication and understanding between all participating species while preserving their individual autonomy. "But make no mistake," Nova added, her tone carrying a subtle warning. "Humanity will not allow any species to threaten this future. We revealed only a fraction of our capabilities in the Centaurian conflict. We offer peace and partnership freely, but we are prepared to defend this new order with the full extent of our power." The message was clear. Humanity's demonstration of power against the Centaurians hadn't been a culmination, but a beginning. They had shown mercy not from weakness, but from wisdom. "The age of empires is over," David declared. The age of synthesis begins today. Each species that joins our network will gain access to the quantum consciousness technology, adapted to their unique biology. Together, we will explore not just the physical universe, but the very nature of consciousness itself. As the delegates began signaling their acceptance, David felt a deep sense of satisfaction. Humanity had faced extinction and emerged not just victorious, but transformed. They had taken the very force meant to destroy them, the Centaurian threat, and used it as a catalyst for an evolutionary leap that would benefit all sentient life. The stars seemed to shine brighter through the crystalline walls, witnessing the dawn of a new era. Humanity had proven that their greatest strength wasn't in their ability to wage war, but in their capacity to imagine and create a future that transcended the very concept of conflict. They had become not just warriors or diplomats, but architects of consciousness itself.